blonde hair? We'll go to the gentleman waving his hand afterwards.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest? It didn't happen. It could have been scary.
We've got some exclusive footage of Chinese President Xi Jinping being escorted to house arrest.
Yes or no? Is a trans woman a woman?
No.
No. Is a trans woman a woman?
No.
Hi, Jack. What kind of mobilisation is this? There's women in there wearing red jackets and skirts. I don't think this is mobilisation. I'm not even sure where this is and when it's from, but I don't think it's anything to do with Putin!
And adding his signature now, First Minister Nicola Sturgeon and Brandon Lewis has already added his signature to the document. You can hear the bands outside taking up their place, because shortly we will be going out into Friary Court just outside these windows.
I do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles, his heirs and successors, according to law.
Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
Usually in science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible. We say something's wrong with the theory. We're off by a factor of 10. However, in cosmology, we're off by a factor of 10 to the 120. That is 1 with 120 zeros after it. This is the largest mismatch between theory and experiment in the history of science.
And all 4 of our cats always lick their bowls clean, to be fair. But
I don't want to know about your cats licking their balls clean.
I'm just saying, they're clean creatures, John.
I said I don't want to know about your cats licking their balls clean.
Oh, you said balls.
Yes, I said balls.
Oh, yeah, but the thing is, you're Scottish, and balls and bowls sound exactly the fucking same.
No, it doesn't. If I was talking about a bowl, it would be completely different from a ball.
He was playing a wee game of bowls today.
Bowls, bowls and balls are completely different words. What are you doing with just put your balls away.
My bowls, not my balls.
Oh, that was your balls and balls are. I mean, they sound completely different. I don't know what the fuck you're listening to. I don't believe it will happen, but the only way they pull this back is if they bring back Boris.
But you know
but
what?
I could see them. I could see them pulling it back if they brought back Boris, because people loved him.
Yeah, but I just,
regardless of what you thought of him, people loved him.
Yeah, but I just simply don't see Liz Truss. I don't think she's going to survive to Christmas.
Okay, well then you can't put Rishi Sunak in as a caretaker.
They're going to. They're going to install him.
Well then they're fucking sunk.
Yeah,
Rishi Sunak will sink the country.
right were we?
You were right.
Listen,
It didn't come in.
was.
Fucking OBS. Right, start again. Well.
Well, how right were we on that prediction there at the end of the pre-roll? I say we, me, how right was I? This is why you come to this show, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You come here for accuracy. You come here for entertainment. You come here for sex appeal.
I was right as well.
Yeah,
I think. Well, it hasn't finished yet because I said Rishi Sunak will sink the country, and he's making a damn good job at it.
He is making a damn good job at it. Damn good job at it. We deserve a bigger fucking audience. Look at those predictions. Look at those previous things. Oh, we are rarely ever wrong. And that's not. It's not to toot our own horns here, but this is the show you come to in order to get your dissection of the news in only the way we can, and it cuts through the BS. It makes you laugh. We're here to have fun. We're here to fuck shit up, as they would say. Yes. Isn't that right, John?
That's exactly right, Ben. That's exactly what we're here to do. And speaking of shit fucking up, I think I might have been wrong.
Okay.
Because I really thought that Andrew Tate had Romania in his pocket.
No, they're trying to make an example of him.
I think they might be, and it's not going well for Mr. Tate, is it? Because what's happening just now?
Well, as you can see, his cars. There's been another raid on Mr. Tate's properties, and all of his cars that are left in Romania, because I know he transported some to Dubai, but all of his cars that are left in Romania have indeed been seized. Do we have that for people to see there, John?
Yes, indeed we do, my good man.
Yeah. They've taken all of his cars. Now, I've been reading up on this a little bit, and it seems like it may well have been done so that they can recompense any alleged victims of Mr. Tate's alleged criminality. So they seize the assets, they'll sell it, and any money that comes from it will go to the victims, is what it appears.
Yeah.
But in a weird twist of events, I've also seen that two of the women that are named in the lawsuit, two of the women that are named as victims, have come forward and said, "We never made that report. We're not victims."
So is this is starting to, well, I mentioned this early doors because I said this sounded a bit like old Julian Assange and the Swedish rape victims.
Well, it's very weird, isn't it? And I mean, let's face it, I don't know if you've seen the video. I think we kind of touched upon it on Wednesday while I was in France, but the video of him basically training people on how to be a pimp. It don't look good for him.
No,
don't look good for him.
I've seen the video, but like I'm saying, the video doesn't mean anything because it's basically hearsay. I mean, all he needs to say is, well, you know, I'm trying to sell a product.
Yeah.
Everybody goes about OTT when they're doing marketing. And basically, that's all I've done. So it's a private video. It's directed at a personal, you know, from a personal point of view at people.
Let's face it.
It might not help his case, but it shouldn't convict him.
No, it's not going to help his case at all. But also, I think with that video, you know how he's been doing the rounds like on Piers Morgan and going, I'm not a misogynist, right?
Yeah.
When he's in those videos going, women are stupid, they need to be controlled, they're this, they're that, the other, they don't work without being controlled, you can't go into a contract with a woman, you have to the woman.
I'm not saying that.
But the thing is, I am remiss to use the term misogynist, but it kind of seems pretty fucking misogynist, doesn't it?
Well, it depends. It depends. I mean, you look at what's his name, Jordan Peterson, right?
Mm.
So there's a fine line between misogyny and truth.
Yes, but I don't think that disparaging 50% of the population as dumb is truth. There are intelligent women, right? There are.
Well, yeah.
As people that need to be controlled, he says that clearly as well, right?
Yeah. I'm just not. I'm not getting involved.
Well, yeah. I mean, as we've always said on this show, when it comes to Andrew Tate, first and foremost, the man's a fucking arsehole.
You know what? Men don't control women.
No.
Women control men, but men don't control women.
Well, no. We let them think they control us.
No, that's what you like to think that that they think. But no.
I'll tell you something after the show.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'll tell you something after the show.
Okay.
Put it that way. I'll tell you something after the show. I have played a masterclass, a blinding hand, shall we say, and you'll want to hear about it. And it's not something I really want to talk about publicly.
Okay, well, with that, I'd like to welcome everyone to this episode 188 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and with Ben.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare starring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre.
I was fucking dancing there. I think even the intro might be a little too short.
I'm thinking I might change the intro.
I quite like it, I do.
No, I like it as well, but the wording maybe suits all in better.
Yes, I was thinking that personally as well.
So I might redo the intro for this show and extend that one for all in.
Trudy makes a good point about Tate before we do start with the list. Who is tweeting from Andrew Tate's account? I think it's his cousin, but I'm not terribly sure.
I don't know.
But still, he is an arsehole. Trudy says, I love the intro, makes me bop.
And Belladonna doesn't, obviously. Well, you know what? We can't please everyone all the time, and that's not our job. Our job is to tell you the truth.
Is to cut through the BS of the world
yeah.
and try and make you laugh whilst we're doing it.
Indeed. So we better get on because we've got a lot to go through today, haven't we?
Yeah, and I've got a date with the kids that I promised to take them swimming, so we best get this done.
Okay, so Australia's concerned it can't stop misinformation in private conversations.
What?
Well, it's shocked that it can't stop misinformation in private conversations. It wants to get right. I mean, it sounds like Scotland, doesn't it? You know,
wants to get in your brain, wants to get in your house.
They want to get round your dinner table so you can't have a conversation that people's not allowed. They don't want you to have a conversation where you might offend someone or tell someone an untruth. I mean, really, get a life. This is like, the next thing you're going to have is chips in your brains, isn't it?
And really
you're going to get been cancelled because I've decided to give you some couldn't say it.
The problem is, I just find the term misinformation so fucking problematic. And I know we're supposed to swear a lot less on the show, right? On the afternoon show. But it is problematic because anything is misinformation to anyone. And especially the government of the day who decide they want to sew you a nice yarn or knit you a nice yarn, give you a narrative, send you down a path, down the yellow brick road, should we say. And it's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true. Now, their bollocks is just as much bollocks as any other bollocks that anyone else is saying is bollocks. The biggest purveyors of quote unquote misinformation, especially over the last 3 years, have been your government and your mainstream media.
Yeah, you're right. You are right.
And this is terrifying. They want to get into your brains. They want to turn you into a nice little robot. Believe, say, do, act as we say.
Of course they do. They want complete control, don't they?
But you're not robots. You're free-thinking individual human beings. You need to start fucking acting like it. And that's not really talking to the audience here, because I know the audience here generally are free-thinking individuals. I'm talking to the rest of the people who just go, beep, beep, bop, bop. Yes, wear a mask. Beep, beep, bop, bop. Yes, queue for the supermarket. Beep, 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 beep. Stop it. Stop it. Just ask some bloody questions. Let's start there, and then let's get to where we are.
Yeah, okay. I did say that we have 33 slides.
Let's move on.
So, Dr. Thomas Binder makes a a fairly reasonable point here.
Mm.
Well, after 3 years of utter silence, and from Dr. Asim Malhotra, he's finally talking about how something affected, or how he thinks it's affected people's outcomes when it comes to heart disease and myocarditis and stuff like that. So that's his thoughts. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And he only brought it up because he thinks that this had a direct effect on his father, right?
Yes.
And to be fair, if his father hadn't died, I don't think he would be saying what he's saying just now. But this chap has been saying the same thing since day one.
Mm.
And yet he's still cancelled.
Yeah, but then again, so is kind of Malhotra, kind of. The only reason he's still got a Twitter account is because of Elon's new rules, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, but, I mean...
But look at the mainstream media job.
Elon's new rules aren't working, right? So they might be on Twitter, but they're still getting shadow banned, they're still getting deboosted. I mean, look at Mark Changizi.
Yeah.
He's still getting deboosted.
I mean, I will say this. I firmly believe that there are a lot of activist holdouts over at Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Put it that way.
I think so.
But yeah, I just don't trust any of them. And that's Malhotra included, right?
No, I don't either.
He's this new darling, isn't he? He's doing the media tour. He's been on Tucker over in the States. He's been here, there, and everywhere. And then he hijacked that BBC interview. And maybe his intentions are good, or I don't know what the intentions of these people are, but... Trudy says she's finding Twitter confusing at the moment, but you're completely right. If it hadn't affected his father, he would still be on Good Morning Britain promoting it, because that's what he did before, right? Or similar shows. I'm not saying that people shouldn't promote these things. I'm saying, once again, always when it comes to this sort of thing, you have your own agency, free thinking, you have your own body, do your own research from all avenues, official avenues, other avenues, come to your own conclusions, make a decision for yourself, and that decision should be yours, private, yours alone, and you shouldn't be punished for it, as in you shouldn't be able to not get on a plane, you shouldn't be able to not go to the club, or anything you like. And I know we've got to rush through these to move on. I just have to address the chat a second, because we've been asked if there's any updates on our friend Ollie. Yes, we have people on standby if necessary to break him out, but since we've been making a bit of a storm over on the Twitters,
a kerfuffle perhaps, they seem to be treating him a lot better. They have I can give you an actual update. They're actually looking for a private room for him right now, for him to have a bit more dignity. Good.
And hopefully he will be housed soon enough as well, because he's homeless, by the way. Hopefully the council will house him. Now, we had this conversation, and I kind of, at my behest, I did ask him to stay put. I know he's going through stuff, but he's more likely to be housed from the hospital than he is if he checks into a hotel, and they'll say, well, you can afford to go to a hotel.
Yeah.
So you do that.
That's true.
So in the meantime, we're trying to get him better treatment. We're trying to get him a bit more dignity. And if anything else goes wrong, or if any other problems occur, we have people, including employees at the hospital, on standby to take him wherever he wants to go. So that's my current update. I worked tirelessly all day yesterday to try and get things sorted. So it's under control for the minute.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Should we move on?
Yeah. So did you hear about the shooting in London, the drive-by shooting?
I kind of heard about it because it wasn't really major news.
So drive-by shooting, which
killed kids, didn't it?
Well, sorry.
Are kids dead?
No, it didn't kill anyone.
Okay, good.
Right, but there's a young girl in a critical condition in hospital.
Yeah.
And there's a number of other people were injured. Right.
Yeah.
Now, I think it sounds like it was a single shotgun blast from the side of things, and obviously it's from a fair distance, so it's had a bit of spread. But obviously, it's hit one of them more than the rest, and that's obviously the critical injured one. But I can't understand why they would target a memorial service to two people that had died.
I can't understand this either, but then again, I don't understand the mentality of gangs, and obviously this is gangs, right?
But the people that died were women, and and one of them had come over on a flight from somewhere, like Jamaica or whatever, to because someone had died and had a blood clot and died when she arrived.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I mean, the whole thing's a bit strange.
Well, do you remember, I think her name was Sasha Johnson, the female leader of BLM UK?
Yes.
She was shot in the head, wasn't she?
Yes, she was, indeed.
And then when it was discovered that it probably wasn't a racist white attack, as they tried to label it, it went a bit silent, didn't it?
Well, it kind of died a death, yeah.
Yeah, it went a bit silent. I believe she's still alive.
Yeah.
But very, very obviously life changed permanently, won't be able to really live a fulfilling life. And, it's sad. She should never have been shot in the head. She should never have been attacked. But Belladonna says London is safe, says New Met.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, sure it is.
Is it fuck?
Well, it's safe unless you want to get raped by a Met police officer. But we'll maybe speak more about that on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Jesus, yeah.
Because I mean, it came in today, but yeah, it's worth talking about. But we've got enough already on our plate for today. I just pointed out this young chef here from well, he was working in Oban, but he's from the same town as our great First Minister from Irvine.
Oh, so award-winning chef Gary Goldie, 48, died suddenly during work.
Yeah, I know. Bad.
Just happens, doesn't
it?
Just
dropped dead.
Just dropped dead during work. Yep.
Now this is something I think is quite appropriate, right?
Right.
And it could probably have been put in the funnies, but it's not funny because this is what we bang on about all the time. History is indeed written by the victors.
Written by the victors. Yep.
And the evil ones will always paint themselves as virtuous while smearing and slandering the other side. And that is 100% true. History is fake because you only ever get it from one side. And it is, as is shown there, written in the blood of the people that you have beaten.
Well, your terrorists, if they win, become freedom fighters, right?
Well, Nelson Mandela. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. Even though his wife in particular was a horrible, nasty person who tortured people by putting tyres round their necks. And then setting them on fire because they were full of petrol.
Tyres with petrol and then lighting the match. Yeah, these people, like you said, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, and that's exactly the truth. History is written by the victors. History is written by the winners, and sometimes the winners are utter bastards.
And just to slip back briefly to that shotgun incident, it's just it's like someone saying my mate's estate has guys selling handguns like sweeties, says Vaughn, right? Yeah, but because if you restrict the sale of weapons, it's always the bad guys that can get them.
Well, this is it. This is the point that I've always made, right? If I get a home invasion, this is why I'm quite in favour of the Second Amendment, because bad guys don't care about the law. Let's start there.
But the second amendment's to stop the other set of bad guys.
Yeah, but still, it means that you can arm yourself. It means you can protect yourself. And, no, most people don't want to own guns so they can go and do bad things. Most people want to own them for protection, right? Yeah. But in this country, a criminal who is already a criminal, so by definition is committing crimes, does not care about your law. So if they're going to break into your home carrying an illegal gun and you've got, at best, a kitchen knife, who's winning that? The bad guy wins every time.
Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Exactly right. So this world is fucked, mate. This world is fucked.
Well, yeah, and the other bad people that have access to firearms are your government.
And your police force.
Well, the police is part of government, isn't it, really? Yes. The enforcement wing of government.
Shall we before we move on, John, I'm going to give you a slight lesson in production as we're going. In these sections, cut to us big. So we'll show the story, we talk about it a little bit, then cut to us big, and then cut back.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, right. Okay, well, let's talk about this story.
let's. What the fuck even is this?
Well, you know what that is? That's the BLM statue that was unveiled.
Yeah.
That's the one that's offended them, because from certain angles, right, it looks remarkably like a penis.
Looks like he's having a bit of a laugh, doesn't it? Or a bit of a fun time.
Yeah, it's a particularly horrible looking statue in the first place, though.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, look at it's from
It's
our
art,
good friend.
don't you know? It's art.
It's not. That's not art, right? But then again, most of the shit they call art these days is not art. And if you agree with me, leave a like. But anyway, New York Post, the gift that keeps on giving. The headline says it all. Woke MLK penis statue insults black community.
Excuse me. Sorry.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's Ron Jeremy, says Belladonna.
It could be, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So a man has been arrested in, remember we discussed this uranium on a plane thing the other day. So a man has been arrested in connection with an investigation into traces of uranium discovered in a cargo package at Heathrow Airport on 29th December. Now, if you're going to smuggle uranium into the country, Heathrow's the last place you would send it to, because
I agree.
You know, they've got the best detectors, and they get all the international traffic. So if it's going to be detected anywhere, it's going to be detected in Heathrow. So don't send your uranium through Heathrow. Now, but the other thing was that when this was originally reported, it was traces of uranium on scrap metal from Pakistan. And I still can't get my head around, why are we importing scrap metal by airplane into the UK from Pakistan?
Just go down the fucking scrapyard, mate. Just go down the scrap. We've got plenty of it.
It's just bizarre. I can't get my head round it, mate. I can't get my head round it.
There's so much in this world I can't get my head around, John.
Yeah, I know.
Including our next story.
So, well, this is quite sensible, I think. So the House Oversight Committee is wanting Biden's home visitor logs after the classified docs scandal, right? So just to bring everyone back up to speed, Joe Biden, who never does anything wrong, when he was vice president, seems to have taken classified documents away and stored them in his garage and in his office, right? So they've been found in both locations. Now, as vice president, he cannot declassify documents. Therefore, there is no way they were unclassified. On the other hand, Donald Trump, who took formerly classified documents and already actually made inquiries as to where he should keep them and if they wanted them returned. Right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did, and he was told, no, they're fine where they are, just leave them there. Right? So you know, there is no case against Donald Trump, but there seems to be a case. Yeah, and there seems to be a case against Biden because a criminal case has been convened and he is under investigation for it.
Well, as of January the 20th, the Republicans will be in charge, right?
He is under investigation for a criminal case now for acquiring these documents and taking them.
And I think rightly so.
Yeah.
You know, you can't treat them differently because, as you said, what Trump did or is alleged to have done, he had the ability to literally, with a stroke of a pen, unilaterally declassify pretty much anything he wants.
Yeah.
Right. And as you said, he declared these documents. He made inquiries as to whether they should be returned, where to keep them. He did everything he possibly could. You can't then turn around and say a man that at the time did not have the power to do that declassification, clearly didn't make these same inquiries, has not done anything wrong, when all over Twitter all you see is Trump's criminal, he stole classified documents. Well, if that's the case, then so is Biden, right?
Yeah.
And I would say actually probably even more so because of the steps that we have just spoken about.
Yeah,
anyway,
probably.
Let's move on
So-
to the Biden administration.
Well, so Karine here on this matter, I said it was only one document and the search was completed. And then just after she'd said that, they found more in the same place.
She
And
is the worst press secretary ever.
I mean,
She really is.
look, let's face it, all press secretaries do lie to a degree, right? Even our favourite Kayleigh would have lied to a degree at some point, right? But at least she had a plausibility about her, right? Whereas Karine just doesn't have an answer to these things.
I'm not gonna lie. You could have Kayleigh McEnany could have lied to me all day long.
Yeah,
right?
lie to me, baby, lie to me.
it was, and I think Trump knew exactly what he was doing when he made her press secretary.
Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he knew
But,
exactly what he was doing.
I mean, Karine's not. She's not the sharpest tool in the box. She really
And she's
isn't.
so woke.
Oh, I
She's
know.
so
She's shocking.
woke.
Shocking.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It's a new name, Greg Rumford. Have you seen that name before?
Yes,
Hello, Greg.
yes.
All right,
Rob,
okay.
Greg has been here a few
All
times
right, okay.
before,
Sorry.
so welcome back, good sir. Let's move on to something else completely ridiculous because Nadeem, the previous vaccines, schools, and health minister,
Yep.
has agreed to pay £3 million tax bill he lied about and hid from Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. Should he be jailed for fraud?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. £3 million.
but he's paying it.
So? Oh, all right. Okay. Hold on. Hold on.
No,
Hold on. Let me give you a little scenario. Okay.
Give it to me, baby.
Okay. I stole my neighbour's car 3 years ago.
Did you?
I'm giving you a scenario.
I was going to say ex-police officer stealing his
Right.
neighbour's
So
car.
I stole my
Is it
neighbour's
silly?
car 3 years ago and I sold it. Right.
Mm.
I've now been caught, and I'm saying it's okay. I'm going to pay him back. Should I go to jail?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's different? Where's the difference?
Then at the same time, I'm going to tell you why I can't support it, because taxation is theft.
Well, yeah, yes. No, well, you can support it because if you are living in a society where that is the rule of law, right, and you follow the rule of law regardless.
I think people should be treated equally. If people,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
you're-
if you or I are going to jail for tax evasion, right? Because
Yeah.
this is tax evasion, not avoidance, right?
yeah,
Right. So if you or I are going to jail for tax evasion, he should go to jail for tax evasion. There is no. In fact, he should go and get a harsher sentence because he's abused the position in which he's got, which is as
I
a
agree
public servant.
that I agree with. And at the same time, Nadeem Zahawi, along with all other 650 MPs that sit in the House of Commons, should all be in prison anyway. They're not going to be. They're not going to be held accountable. Let's be completely upfront and honest with people. I know people don't like to hear that, and I know people don't like to hear that there's not going to be, I don't think, a Nuremberg too. But I don't.
Oh,
think
there
it's
won't
happening.
be. There won't. I mean, right? Come on. When has anyone ever been held to account after the Second World War?
Oh, exactly.
I mean, what about Tony Blair? I mean, Tony Blair provably lied to an entire nation and took us into a war which really was illegal because the whole premise for the war was found to be a lie, right? Therefore, he's a war criminal. He is a war criminal.
He is a war criminal, but remember, he was exonerated.
Yeah, but why was he exonerated? Because he lied to us, he knew he was lying to us, and he took us into a war that effectively becomes illegal.
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
And he's never been held to account. In fact, he's been promoted and given a sir.
Greg Rumford says, I'm going to be holding my brand new Nuremberg trials in Romford. They shall be known as the Romford trials. And I know.
I would come and televise that.
Look, listen, and I know people don't like to hear us saying these sorts of things, but we would be doing you a disservice, I think, if we told you to hold out hope for a Nuremberg too.
Nobody's getting held to account.
Nobody's getting held to account.
And you know what? Regardless of how things go, right? Like Robert Malone and Malhotra and all the rest of them, you know, what's his name, Luke Montagnier and all that, none of them will be vindicated, right?
No.
In the public eye. You know, they will never be vindicated. And the people that went against them, like Fauci and all that, will remain with positions or with the honour that they had. You know, they'll never be brought down. They won't, because that's the narrative, and it's written by the victor.
I agree. I had to, Belladonna, I had to reject your message in the chat there, because if it come through and it's nothing, I kind of agree with you, by the way, but YouTube would punish us and punish you for a chat message like that. So sometimes we've just got to be careful, because we do get held accountable for what people say in the chat.
Yeah, we do.
So I apologize for that. Anyway, shall we move on to Wall Street Silver? It's all a fake drama. Congress will raise the debt ceiling. The US Treasury will sell more debt. The Fed will eventually be forced to buy all of the debt.
Right. So Congress are saying that, or Janet Yellen saying, extraordinary measures as the US is on track to hit the debt ceiling next week, right?
Right.
They've had it before, right? And all they did was raise it. Those three things will be what happens. So why are they still giving all this money to Ukraine?
Yeah.
And you know why they're giving the money to Ukraine?
It's because it's a nice way to clean it.
And it's a proxy war, because they really want to stick it to Russia, don't they?
Well, every Western nation, for some reason, really wants to stick it to Russia. You've got to remember.
Yeah, but it's because Russia's not following the narrative. That's the problem.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, any time we can go back in recent history. Anytime you need a bad guy to be scared of, it's the communists, it's Russia, it's the Red Scare, it's the Cold War. It always falls back to Russia. Russia has always been, especially America's ultimate boogeyman. So, of course, people are gonna, be. And if we're in a position, which we are, to help someone that's fighting the bad Russia. Now, I'm not saying Russia's good. I'm not going to sit here and support Russia. I'm not going to sit here and support Ukraine. I'm going to say that this is all absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Well, you know what? It's an engineered war, right?
Yeah, it certainly appears to be, doesn't it?
It's completely an engineered war, and it's engineered.
It certainly appears to be.
It's engineered by America.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd even go further as to say it's engineered by Biden more than anything. You know, because this is his what would you call it? It's his area of expertise.
It is. Right,
Anyway,
shall we move on to Lucy Johnston, who tweets?
Right, so Lucy says it's like something from a Dickens novel, and she's got a point here. Apparently, there are increasing numbers of children being taken into care, not because people are harming them or abusing them. It's because that their parents can't afford to keep them.
Right.
So this is not something that we would expect to see in an allegedly first world civilized country.
No, I completely agree with you, but let's face it, we are at that point. We are at that point where you're
right. We are at that point, mate. And I tell you what, if we go off the air, because I'm streaming at the moment and everything's looking great, right? But if we go off the air, it's because our electricity's been cut off.
Yeah, you're just waiting for it to happen, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. We're literally just waiting for it to happen because we can't pay it.
No, and at the end of the day, as you know, I've just been in a massive argument about my electricity company. £550 the bill for the month of December for a 3-bedroomed semi-detached council house.
Yeah, I know.
It's impossible to pay.
It's incredible.
I can't pay it.
It's an engineered it's an engineered situation because our government has done nothing to alleviate it. All they've done is put a windfall tax on, energy companies. How does that help us?
It doesn't help us because even so, what are they doing with that windfall tax? Are they then pumping it straight back into paying for our electricity and our gas? Of course they're not.
What are they giving you? I mean, is the government giving you something back or something like 60 quid or something? It's crazy.
I get I think it's 60 quid a month off my bill.
Yeah.
And that's only until April.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. This is and it's all getting blamed on
Putin!
Yeah, it's all getting blamed on him, but it's really got nothing to do with him because this situation was being engineered. Because, I mean, you saw the pre-roll. If you saw the pre-roll, what did Biden say about Nord Stream?
Well, yeah, there will be no Nord Stream 2.
Yeah, there'll be no Nord Stream 2. Right?
And all of a sudden there is no Nord Stream.
And now it's gone. Yeah.
But still, what people have to get their heads around is the majority of electricity generated in this country is done so via gas turbine, right? And the cost of wholesale gas is low right now. You are being taken for a ride. You are being ripped off. I wanted to say this the other day, but if the country had the collective will, and you can put me big screen for this, John. If the country had the collective will, if you did, you could halve your energy bills tomorrow. It won't work with 20 of you. It won't work with 100 of you. It won't work with 1,000 of you. But if 1 million of you turned around to your electricity and gas suppliers and said, I'm not paying you that. I'm paying you 50% and not a penny more. Cut me off, bitch. Do you think they're going to cut 1 million of you off?
No.
Do you think they're going to take 1 million of you to court? Imagine the legal fees alone to take 1 million people to court. It would bankrupt them.
Yeah.
Bankrupt them. If you had the collective will to just offer 50%, what would happen if enough of you did it? Your bills would halve overnight because they would have no choice.
And
Australia and a TV license all over again.
Yeah, and they've no reason to keep the prices up because, as Belladonna says, lowest wholesale gas price since 2010. But look at fuel as well. Look at petrol, right?
Yeah.
You know, lowest price for a long time, but the prices are still high at the pumps.
Yeah, admittedly, they've come down about 20p.
A little bit, but you know, wholesale prices dropped this much. You know.
But what I'm saying is absolutely true. They could not afford to take 1 million of you to court.
No, they couldn't.
It would bankrupt them. They're not going to cut 1 million of you off because then they're getting no money, right? So you offer them an ultimatum. Ultimately, you are the customer and your money flowing to them keeps them in existence. If you had the collective will to do something about it, you could do something about it, and you could do it today. Once again, just look at Australia and the TV license. Why don't Australia have a TV license? Because over 1 million people said, we ain't paying that all at once.
Well, one would hope that we will be following in that
our population, and I'm sorry, are wet wipes. They don't have the collective will to do something about it. And that's sad. But, you know, just clip what I just said and put it out as an individual video or whatever. Because if you wanted to change this, you could do it tonight.
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
You could. Now, I never thought I would be in this position.
Go for it.
But I have to agree with Owen Jones. I've got to agree with Owen Jones. You don't look happy, Ben. You don't look happy at all. I think we've broken Ben. I think we'll swiftly move on. Moving on.
So. Fucking.
Now, you've heard me banging on about the 600k a lot, yeah? That we think Murrow carries about in the co-op carrier bag. Because nobody still knows where this donated money is. And Police Scotland, who's supposed to be investigating it, have said we're going to have to seek permission from prosecutors to question the party. Now, this has been going on for 18 months. 18 months. How can it take so long?
Where's the money, Nicola? Just answer the fucking question.
This woman is on a shaky peg. She needs to go. And yet, she still keeps carrying on. People still keep supporting her. Why?
She stands at her lectern and gives you your diktats and has done so much to oppress the Scottish people, and I use that word purposefully. What she is doing is oppressing you.
Oh yeah,
she's made it fucking illegal to tell offensive jokes at your dinner table, John. How people support this witch, I don't know.
And now she's apparently gonna have to roll back on her plan to make the next general election a de facto referendum.
What you mean, an illegal referendum? Nicola Sturgeon is preparing to row back on her plan to make the next general election a de facto referendum on Scottish independence. You had your vote on Scottish independence.
Once in a generation, they said. Once in a generation. That was only 2014.
Listen.
It wasn't even 10 years ago. We said no.
No.
No. Not going to do that.
Listen here, Salmon and Sturgeon, you ballbags. No.
That was the answer.
No. But not enough of you said no, John.
Yes.
Not enough of you said no.
Yeah. Well, enough of us did.
Listen, even if it had been like 95% that said no, they'd still be doing it.
Yeah. Speaking of ball bags.
Oh.
Speaking of ball bags, Rishi Sunak has declared war on woke, and the government is due to announce the appointment of Arif Ahmed as a free speech czar.
Why do we need such a thing? Just take the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and enshrine it in British law. Done.
Yeah. I don't understand.
That hard.
It's not that hard. I don't understand why we need anyone to be a free speech czar. It's just ridiculous.
Look, we are living in a country where we are teetering on the edge of insanity when it comes to our speech laws, because as somebody in a quote unquote marginalized community, our current hate speech laws protect me quite well. Protect me more than they protect you, John, right? But I don't want that. I want to be able to have people joke about my condition. I'll tell you
Oh, sorry. I'm laughing at the chat. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Pete's great. Apparently, the hospital called him a girl because his name is Kerry. Ben, have you... Oh my God, Ben! So Ben has disappeared. He's left us. Good grief. Now, this chap here, the banking system, right? So the banking system, as you know, and we've banged on about it on a number of occasions, is fractional reserve, which means that the bank can lend you money that they don't have. And this guy told Congress that every bank is broke. And the reason they're broke is because they're lending money they can't have. And if you went to the bank and asked for, say you went to the bank and asked for 50 grand out, you wouldn't get it. Oh God, he's now dropped off, which is screwed up all the settings. Good grief, Ben, you don't make life easy, do you? He really does not make life easy. Fucking hell. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. To see if I can quickly get you back on track. Oh, good grief, Ben. Right. I tell you what, I'll just leave it as it's set, and we'll just go through the slides, and hopefully Ben will come back and join us again. So we'll see what happens. I must apologise, people, for this. Oh, here he comes. Now, moving on. So, hello, Ben. Thank you for coming back.
That's fine. I could still hear you, which was the really odd thing.
Yeah.
He's going, oh my God, Ben! Ben has just left us. I could hear all that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so and obviously all the settings screwed up when you left. The only thing we had was the slides. But hey, we're still here, people. We're still here. We haven't dropped. That's the main thing.
Everything's grand. Everything's grand. We're all good.
Yeah. So Calmac, which is the company that needs the new ferries, the two Scottish ones are still at Ferguson Marine, which is owned by the Scottish Government. One of them's due to be completed by April, and it was only costing an extra 100 million or something like that. Yep. And the second one's due now to be completed next year, about the same time as the first Turkish one will be. So the Turkey are now building 2 ferries for Calmac as well, and they're charging 95 million or something for 2.
Ah, lovely, lovely.
And they're ahead of schedule. So I venture to say that perhaps the Turkish ones were ready before the Calmac ones.
Accept it. The Scottish ferries are never happening.
Oh my God, it's shocking. It really is shocking. Anyway, oh good God, right? What? I don't know if you've seen this one. This is Sir Keith, right? Keith, right? Keith. So Keith, who is not a doctor, right?
Nope. Not a doctor, not a scientist.
So one of the things that Labour Party's put forward is self-referrals.
Okay.
So you can self-refer yourself to a hospital. Okay. So you don't need to get a doctor to do that. You don't need to see your GP to do that. You can self-refer yourself.
Yep.
Now, so his example is, if you've got internal bleeding, where did that one come from, right? And you just need a test to see if you've got internal bleeding, there ought to be a way that doesn't involve going to see a GP. Now, you know what? And while I'm not a doctor, right, or a medical professional, if you think you have internal bleeding, don't phone your GP. Phone an ambulance.
A&E.
Phone an ambulance or get to A&E if you think you have internal bleeding. Don't fuck about waiting for a test. That's probably one of the worst analogies I've ever heard.
I think you're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. Belladonna says, Sir Keith comes from the next village to me in Surrey.
Is that the village that where, you know, of all the villages in the world, he's the idiot that stands out?
I'm going to propose something on the fly here for around April time.
What?
Well, you're coming to see me, aren't you, at the beginning of April?
I'm home
because of certain situations. But I'm going to propose that after that situation's out of the way and you're still down here, we use London as a base. I know it's a shithole, but we have a bunch of people that watch the show come and spend the day with us, and we can go and fuck about and do some stuff and maybe have a drink and
a meetup.
A meetup. A meetup. Would you be interested in that, John?
Yes, I'd be interested in that. I don't mind speaking to people occasionally.
Yeah, I don't mind occasionally seeing human beings. It's fine.
Yeah, we could do a meetup.
We could do a meetup. We could. That sounds good to me. Trudy says, sounds like a great idea. I'll start saving.
There you go.
Yeah, it'd be nice. People can come and spend the day with us and praise us lots and say you guys are the best thing about our life. And
so this is BBC One's Formula One broadcaster Jenny Gow, who's she's not old. Okay.
No, she's had a stroke, hasn't she?
And she has had a stroke. And I mean, somebody's put that tweet in there, but everyone in the Formula One side of things has been up to the hilt because they go everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So it's a bit young to be having a stroke, but hey, these things happen. Unfortunately, these things happen.
These things do happen, and that's all we can say on the matter. Yeah. Let's move on to a sort of related, I guess, topic. And look at this headline regarding Andrew Bridgen. It says MP who was groomed by gangs of anti-vaxxers. And in fact, I had a conversation, a sort of conversation with Ivor Cummings, you know, the Fat Emperor.
Yeah.
On anti-vaxxer. He quote tweeted me because I told him, because he's being labelled an anti-vaxxer. Someone like Malhotra keeps being called an anti-vax activist, right?
Yep.
I think they should start fucking suing. I really do.
Yeah, I think they probably should, because, you know, I mean, what does it mean in real terms? It means nothing.
Well, what is an anti-vaxxer?
No,
What?
that's the problem. There is really no such thing, especially these people, because I think we've all been vaccinated at some point.
Oh, of course we have. Well, for the vast majority of us will have been vaccinated against something.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not averse to, if I want to travel to, say, Africa, I'll get the vaccines I need.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I have absolutely no qualms in doing so. And I've always said, with regards to the current stock of vaccines, that if I saw the medium to long-term data and it was good and it was going to benefit me, especially as a vulnerable person, I might make that decision one day.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything that would make me want to make that decision, put it that way.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these people, I mean, you've got people that are anti-vaxxers and out-and-out anti-vaxxers who won't want to take a single vaccine or anything like that in their lives. And that's okay too, as far as I'm concerned, because I don't have control over your body. I don't tell you what you shouldn't put in your body. You don't tell me what I shouldn't put in my body.
Absolutely.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Was it, did Lisa Marie die from a stroke, or was that a cardiac event? I can't remember.
I'm honest, I'm unsure. But
I mean, that was recent as well. That was over the last few days.
It was. Let's move on to DC Drano.
So DC Drano makes a good point here. He says the WEF say the next thing to worry about is a catastrophic cyber shutdown, right? So the government would then go, we are preparing for a catastrophic cyber shutdown. The people would go, it sounds like they're planning a catastrophic cyber shutdown. And then, of course, the media would go, wacko conspiracy theorists worried about catastrophic cyber shutdown. And that's pretty damn accurate. And of course, old Muskie boy has to step in there and go, you know, selling his product, Starlink.
I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all
I love Starlink.
I would love Starlink in here.
Yeah.
I would love Starlink in here. I cannot afford Starlink in here, but if I got Starlink installed in here, I'd be able to produce a show again.
Yeah, I'd love Starlink on the RV.
Oh, where is the RV?
It's still, I phoned them earlier on and they didn't reply, but I've sent him a text promising.
Has this man stolen your RV?
No, he hasn't. I've promised him money. We will get there eventually.
I was going to say,
Speaking of getting there.
Hold on, I was going to say, you better get it back by April.
Yeah, okay. Well, if the worst comes to worst, I'll come down otherwise and stay in a hotel or something. Anyway, if I can fund it, but we might be able to fund that. But anyway,
but we're going to go for a meet up and then we're going to drive to France, John.
All right, okay. Right, so the UK is apparently committed to sending some tanks to Ukraine. Now, I'm led to understand it's going to send 14. Yes. So I replied to Mr. Cleverly asking are you sure? Because that sounds like half the amount of tanks that we've got these days.
Yeah, I replied to Mr. Cleverly as well, obviously, as a verified, also. So it's pushed up his replies. I said, all of the money that we're sending there, could we not double that money and spend it on people struggling in this country? Because charity begins at fucking home, and we really do need to start thinking about what's going on here.
Yeah, we do.
Ridiculous.
I mean, why are we funding a proxy war between America and Russia? Why? Well, where's the benefit to us? Because don't think that there is any benefit to us.
Yeah.
This isn't a fight for freedom. I mean, Putin doesn't want to take over Europe. Russia doesn't want to take over Europe. It's got enough on its hands running its own country. It wants that bit of Ukraine because Ukraine and Russia have always had this fucking love-hate relationship.
They have.
Right?
But let's face it, in the grand scheme of things, Russia's got fucking enough land.
Russia doesn't need the land. Russia wants the people and possibly the resources in that tiny bit, right?
Yeah.
And it still needs access to Sevastopol because that's its navy base.
Yeah.
And that's why this is going on. The America's in there because they want to stir it. And like, if America sees an opportunity to stir things, from a military perspective, they'll jump in there, hook, line, and sinker, won't they?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's move on to Suella Brave. How is this woman the Home Secretary? Remember
right. So, yes, I know she's an arsehole, right? I mean, all politicians are.
Yeah.
Okay. But what's she got to apologise for here? This is the part I don't understand.
Well, it's because a Holocaust survivor stood up and castigated her to her face about her using the term invasion to describe the migrants coming.
What's the problem?
Thingy.
What's the problem with using the word invasion? It is an invasion.
I think she can use whatever terms of.
It is a swarm. I mean, there are hundreds of people coming here almost every day. So, if not thousands. So, why is it not invasion and why is it not a swarm? Because the Holocaust, the thing that happened, the person that survived the bad thing, right, says it dehumanizes people and makes it easier to deal with them. Well, if you were going to dehumanize them, you wouldn't be keeping them in 4-star and 5-star hotels.
Well, this is exactly right, and people can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I saw rumblings that they're now going to start taking over holiday camps next.
having seen the conditions in some of the Butlins, that's not a 4 or 5-star hotel.
Actually, Butlins in Bognor Regis.
Yeah, that might be the exception, right? But if you'd seen the one in Ayr, it was like I don't know. I've seen better conditions in Govan Hill.
But still, we've got to the point where we've taken over. I mean, in my town alone, I believe there's 7 hotels, and I'm a small town.
Yeah.
We're a small town.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and we need to very quickly separate the genuine refugees from the economic migrants. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
And let's face it, the vast majority of the people coming across the channel appear to be economic migrants. Now, I'm not going to say they are 100% that, but that's what it appears. I mean, you see them coming across, they're wearing their fucking 500-pound shoes and they've got their iPhones.
Yeah.
And, it's all very...
Yeah,
very...
they've still got their iPhone, but they managed to lose their passport.
Oh, yeah, that goes in the sea, John. That goes in the sea.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
And if you're enjoying the show so far, please do leave a like, do subscribe if you haven't, and click that share button. Belladonna says they have migrants in Derbyshire, but there is no coast there. Lol. Well, I'm on the coast. I have the sea about 350 feet from my house. So, yeah, and there have been boats land at our harbour recently as well.
So, Labour MP Kim Ledbetter, sister of murdered MP Joe Cox, tells the media that she carries 3 alarms to help safeguard her against the risk of attack.
Right.
Now, fair enough. One should take care of their personal safety, right?
Yes.
But if you need to protect yourself from the people that elected you to represent them, something's going wrong.
Yes. Yes. No.
And that's all I need to say.
I think that is all you need to say. Let's move on.
Indeed.
I'm laughing at the temperature graph that's next on the list.
Well, right. So I'm going to flick between this. So this is NASA's data on both occasions.
Yes.
Right. So this is NASA in 1999. This is their graph, their data. This is NASA. This is NASA in 2022. Oh, sorry, 2019. Now, the points circled are the same points at the same time, and you tell me what's happening.
I think some data manipulation is happening here, John.
Well, it's NASA's data, and it hasn't changed apparently, but something's gone awry. So that, to me, says, well, while this doesn't necessarily prove that some kind of chicanery is going on, I think it's
John.
certainly worth investigation.
John, it's a government-funded organisation that wants to sow a narrative.
Yeah,
You're telling me you're not suggesting some chicanery is going on? Of course it fucking is.
It's just incredible, isn't it?
It is indeed incredible. Let's
Sorry?
move on
Right. Okay, moving on.
to Les Luthor, the man that likes to go walking around Ukraine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, are we there? Are you getting there?
Hold on.
Can we get there?
Yes, we can. There we go. I've arrived. So, this perfectly staged picture, right, in a war zone, in an alleged apartment block that's been decimated, right?
Right.
So, how do they manage to keep getting these perfectly staged pictures all the time?
Well, what they do is they send in a crew of people with cameras, a director, and perhaps some producers and makeup artists, and they position the people where they need to be positioned to take the correct photograph, John.
Now, we can't quite see the bottom part or the bottom tweet because of the supporters live thing, right? But this person is volunteering to take money to send their aid.
Okay.
It's beginning to take on the proportions of a Nigerian prince scam, isn't it?
I am Nigerian prince, and I have just $600 million sitting in bank account.
Oh, it doesn't. It's usually, dear sir and grand person, many felicitations from me. I am Abdul. I am a prince of Nigeria, currently sequestered in Kenya. I need to release $16 million from my seized accounts.
You send me just $2,000. I will make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Make it worth your while.
I will make it worth your while.
Right, let's continue to move on because we are over the hour.
Yes.
I knew this was going to go over the hour,
Right.
but we will stay with you.
So this is Lisa Marie Presley's death, okay?
Yes, and
but
I'm not going to read that out.
No, but you know what? That's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the first line, the first sentence.
Snopes used to be reliable.
When? When did Snopes? When was Snopes ever reliable?
I mean, this is the thing. They position themselves as these grand fact-checking organizations, right? And because they have said it, it must be true. But who are these people? Where are these people? What evidence are they using to come to their conclusions? Realistically, it's 40-year-old Jeff sitting in his mum's basement going, oh,
Yep.
that's definitely not true.
You're
That's
right.
basically what we've got here.
Yep.
That is
That's it. That's exactly
There
what we
is
had.
there is no credibility, none whatsoever, to these so-called
Right.
fact-checking organizations. And there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say that these people are giving accurate or information. It's just it's come from Snopes, who are saying that they're the biggest fact-checking organization ever. It fucking must be true. No,
he's he's one guy, and full fact, and it should be spelled FOOL. Full fact. They are so much in the pocket of Facebook, Zuckerberg, and Big Pharma that you can't believe anything that they say. And again, they did it the other day. They change things and answer facts that nobody's bothered about.
it's like you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So they just make their own questions to deny it. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Let's move on. This one's actually a cracker.
This is a cracker. I think this is the last slide, but this is a cracker, right?
Yeah.
So, when your neighbour, who really hates J.K. Rowling, gives you a few books to read because the writer is amazing, and that writer is Robert Galbraith. Robert Galbraith.
Who is Robert Galbraith?
Who is Robert Galbraith, Ben?
Is it Joanne Rowling?
I think it's J.K. Rowling.
Yep.
Indeed, that is a classic, and that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this segment.
I don't know, John, I thought we was going to do a new segment.
Oh, we were.
Have we no time?
Oh, well, we've run out of time. We'll do it tomorrow.
Well, we're not live tomorrow.
Well, sorry, we'll do it on Wednesday. We'll do it on Wednesday because I haven't prepared. I haven't got it in front of me.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Stay tuned for a brand new, very comedic segment coming this Wednesday and continuing probably every show thereafter until
Probably for about a year, yeah.
And so I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, boys and girls, if you haven't left a like, don't forget to do so. We would really, really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. Share the show as well. Just click that share button down there. Whatever platform you're on, doesn't matter. Just share it out. Evangelize. Tell people we are here. Come and have a laugh with us. Nobody cuts through the BS of the news quite like we do. And we try and make you laugh whilst we do it. And one more thing to ask, if you are able to, then please consider supporting us monthly at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or indeed Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. With the rising bills, I know everybody's struggling, and all it will do at the moment is realistically help us keep the lights on. So with that, over to you, John.
And I'd like to thank you all for attending this episode 188 of this Chasing Dissent Live. It's been great for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.